My name's Gareth Silversides from Industry Partners Australia. Within our group of companies, we have one called the IPA Collective, which is a collection of, and this is the key word, trusted industry partners and specialists. They're offering in the most consulting, training, and services to industry. So today I'd just like to introduce you to Neil from Preventure. Hey, to Neil.
Hi, Gary. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. So to Neil, tell me about some of the services that Preventure offer.
So, Preventure is a wearable technology company. So, we've been designed with sports science principles, using data analytics and hardware to be able to prevent musculoskeletal risks within businesses by identifying physical movement and assessing physical movement on workers when they're performing tasks throughout their job. So it might sound like a lot, but if I can keep it super simple, we actually have a set of sensors, a back sensor and an arm sensor that are worn by workers when they're performing their role. And we collect that information and that transfers into a dashboard that supervisors and safety professionals can analyze to be able to understand where the risks are. So data's telling us where the risks are within the business so that they can actually be prevented. And we do this through subscription services. So we are a platform. We lease sensors and we work with clients on a subscription basis. So we have clients that have been with us for many years and they are now looking at technology as just the way that they do things. So it is now looking at safety through a new lens, and providing data to support what they're already doing.
Wow, that's pretty fantastic technology.
It is.
Congratulations. What's your key motivation for driving this business?
So for me, and so it was started by a gentleman called Scott Coleman, and he was personally impacted by his mother having a workplace accident. He was using sports science technology with elite athletes, so he's actually a sports scientist, and he created the company. But I'm the managing director of it, and I can tell you where my passion lies is I've spent the last nearly 20 years of my professional career managing workplace injuries. So I have predominantly spent most of my time with injured workers, with managers trying to find suitable duties. I've seen the devastation of what injuries can do to not just a person, but a family, community, and the workplace. So I feel privileged to be leading this company and working with technology that is trying to make a difference. You know, we know that we have teams that are short on resourcing, and we know that there's so much the eye can't see. And now we have a platform and a technology that's easy to use that allows us to actually, use this data to be more specific and actually have tangible results. So I would like to see there a lot less injuries out in the workplace. So that's
Yeah,
my passion.
yeah, yeah. I can understand that, especially with your background. Um, I guess over the years, these technologies continue to evolve, and I guess you must have some real cases of success out there where you've really had an impact. Maybe you could cover one of those for me.
Yeah. I could tell you from small to large, we've had some really great interventions and successes with clients. From being as simple as, and I think it's good to demonstrate, the variations and how the technology is being used. So we had one client who found that every time their workers bent down to scan their cards, so they had a tag, and they had a security card to get into a door. Every single time the worker had to bend down and they had to scan it. So their backload, every time they were saying, well, we can't understand why our office workers have such a high load on their back. And it was as simple as getting a lanyard that had a retractable elastic band. And so they all just stand up now. They just pull the card, they swipe at the security, and they walk through the door. So it was very simple. It took them all of, $100 to replace, a couple of hundred lanyards, and they eliminated a backload. They eliminated,
Wow.
that super simple. And then you go to other companies where they've replaced all of their equipment. So we worked with a parks and gardens service who realized they were getting a lot of shoulder injuries. Most of that was coming from the petrol operated machinery. So whippersnippers, blowers that all had a pull cord. And we could see these scores of 10 out of 10 coming on the shoulders. And it was obvious to us and to them that this was a significant risk for their workforce. So what they did was they went out and they sourced another equipment provider that was battery operated, where it quite literally was just a pull on a lever to start it. They remeasured this with the workers, and again the load went from 10 out of 10 to 0. So they built a business case and they submitted that and replaced all of their old petrol equipment with new battery operated. And from there saw a reduction in reported injuries from shoulders. So those are two, big outcomes from either small or very large, investment from a team.
Fantastic.
Great opportunities.
And from an outside point of view, they seem so obvious.
Yeah.
But without that kind of technology, you can't actually see that because it is so obvious. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Data. The data tells the story. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Tanil, you've only just recently joined the IPA Collective, so thank you for that. What drove you? What was the key benefits that you saw in joining the IPA Collective?
So joining the IPA Collective for us the reason we decided to do that was, one, the reputation. So you guys have a really solid reputation, and we also recognize the thorough process that you went through to vet us, which allowed us to know that you applied the same vetting process to everybody else in your association. So for us, we knew we were working with someone who was going to be invested in the companies and wanted to work with trusted companies. And since then, we've continued to see your investment in connecting industry with services like ours, and networking. I think that's the other element. We're not just a service provider. I've enjoyed actually meeting, and my colleagues as well, who've attended events, have really enjoyed the industry conversation, and we learn from them the same way that they're being introduced to services. So for us, the relationship, even though short, has been very beneficial. I've enjoyed our interactions and the events that we've attended, and I appreciate the effort that goes into building this network for industry and for services alike.
Cool. Thank you. Tanil, thank you very much for today.